Anthony Joshua survives fatal car crash from the Pain game. Anthony Joshua is apparently like a boxer. Oh, he was the guy that boxed Jake Paul the other day and knocked his fucking jaw into pieces. Like literally turned his jaw into fucking jello. He's been in the hospital. He has to get his jaw wide shut because that nigga knocked that nigga a few times. Anthony Joshua, that boxer, the one who knocked out Jake Paul, apparently survived a fatal car crash. You know what I'm saying? As we know. But hey, man, I hope bro's doing good.
Welcome back to the Pain game. A really sad story to talk about.
No American flag in the background. Go ahead and clap it up. Every time, I'm no offense. I know it's gonna sound crazy. Every time I see a content creator and they got the American flag in the background and they're wearing like a Cross is King shirt, that makes me automatically want to fucking puke.
Today, Anthony Joshua, I'm sure you've all have seen, it's the biggest story in the world, is really lucky to be alive. And unfortunately for him, two of his close friends have died in a car accident that so easily could have taken AJ's life. And it's so crazy to think that over a week and a half ago, he was on top of the world. Apparently, he'd pocketed $92 million from his Jake Paul fight. The American audience was in love with him. His star was bigger than ever. And then just yesterday, we see...
That's crazy, bro. Bro was at the top of the world, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know he was the happiest he had ever been in his life or in a while. I don't know. You know what I mean? And then this shit happens, bro. You witness your friends die and shit, bro, in a fucking car crash, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not a religious person. I'm not a Christian or anything like that. I'm just a spiritual. I'm a-religious and shit. But like, you know, send prayers to this nigga, bro. I'm being genuine.
Like this of AJ being pulled from the wreckage in a situation where if he'd
crazy,
just sat on the other side of the car, they wouldn't have been pulling him out alive. There's no way he would have survived. And it puts everything into perspective, this. It really does. So just to give you an idea of what seems to have happened here, this is the road, apparently, where the car collided with this stationary truck. This is some footage here of just how badly wrecked the car was. After colliding. I mean, fucking hell, it is unbelievable that. Now, according to the BBC website, they have said this accident happened in Lagos, Nigeria, and according to the cops...
So it added that Joshua was in stable condition in hospital where he was taken for checks and treatment, remained for observation. Joshua and a driver rescued from the wreckage and taken to the hospital in Sagamu for medical treatment. Okay. The group's chair, boxing promoter Eddie Hearn, paid the tribute for the two great men who were killed in the crash. R.I.P. to them. Rest in eternal peace of Cena and Latz. My thoughts and deepest prayers are with everyone, he said. Wow, this is a truly sad situation, man.
The report is that the tire burst on the car due to excessive speed, lost control, and obviously collided with the parked lorry. This is a diagram of how the car would have collided. So you see the red...
Oh my God. He was sitting right here. He was literally out of harm's way, and then they ended up getting... That's crazy, bro.
Spark here. That is where the impact would have happened, at the back of the lorry.
How did they crash into it, though?
And you can kind of see some damage there done on the lorry when you see it now. And that this half of the car obviously took the brunt of the impact, meaning that everyone, the driver and the guy behind the driver, which was Anthony Joshua, survived. Now, sadly, he did lose two very, very close friends who were also there helping him prepare for fights. Like, these guys were instrumental in his life, and he'd known them for a long time. This guy, Latif, I think he was known as Latz, and Sinner also lost his life as well. Really just heartbreaking for Anthony Joshua. This is devastating. And I'm sure you all, like me, seeing social media and the footage coming out of the situation after the accident was mental. I mean, look, you see the pain on his face, bless him. He's been through such a severe car accident there. Like, all right, he's lucky enough to still be alive, but fuck me, his body must be going through a lot right there. This is not a man who winces in pain easily, right? He gets punched for a living. And obviously, like, you're supposed to take people out.
Like, the thing is like, how did they even crash in the first place? What like how did they end up colliding with the did they lose control?
Out
That's
of
where I'm
car accidents
confused.
like that with great care because you don't
Yeah.
want to make things worse. And there is no paramedics, there is no ambulance, there's just random dudes being like, come on, we'll get you out. And you can see the pain he's in from this angle. Bloody hell. He looks in agony there. He looks in agony. I mean, thank God he's got his life, but that does not look nice. And this is them getting him out of the car and putting him in to another car to take him to the hospital. God knows what's going through his head at this moment. I mean, unbelievable. Just looking at him there, it's absolutely shocking that he was able to just walk into another car and go to the hospital and really not a scratch on him, even though he's
Not. He probably felt like the trauma of the impact of hitting the car. He felt that shit, and that's why he's in
probably
pain.
fucking hurting inside. Physically,
Yeah.
we can't see anything wrong with him there. It's like something out of that Bruce Willis movie, you know, where he's unbreakable and like he can get into an accident and just fucking walk away. Like, that's how unbelievable this is for me. And as much as it's a relief to all of us fight fans that AJ is alive and well, I can only imagine what
Like what's going through his head when he finds out that his friends did not make it. You know, we don't even know if he knows yet. You know what I mean? But you know, well, he probably does now. But man, bro,
going through his mind over his friends who died right there next to
Right
him. This
next
was
to him,
footage that was taken earlier that day of him playing table tennis with one of his two friends who died that day. This was the Healthy Mindset, his Instagram is Lats with Sinner. This is them arriving, I think, into Nigeria.
Okay.
Just happy spirits, you know, just excited.
Any day could be your last. Like that's crazy, bro.
To go on a trip with AJ. Actually, I wanted to play a little bit of one of their Instagram videos because it just shows the kind of things he was doing with his life and how important he was to people.
Hi guys, so I'm here back at the Spot Project. I was here
Fuck.
in 2019 and boy, the changes that have been made are incredible. They've built a couple of new buildings. This building behind me wasn't here before. A couple of new classrooms for the kids to learn Arabic, English, maths and all that kind of good stuff that they need to learn to survive in the society. The football pitch that's been done for them to play football, which they all love, and the basketball courts. So I'm seeing that they're not only working on their mental state, they're working on their physical form as well. So well done to Spot
Damn.
Project and congratulations. May Allah bless you guys, and I'd really, really encourage you guys to come out here and see it for yourself. You know, with the help of donations, this is all helping
Nice.
for a great, great cause. And not only for the kids, but for ourselves.
And just saying that, you just think, God, this is a man with a life, a purpose, someone who really wanted to clearly help the world. And I'm not surprised that AJ hung around with decent people like that because he's a good bloke himself. And he has a photograph of AJ with
Nice.
Sinner and Lats. He's just going to be so broken over this. It's
Both of his friends, both of them. Like that's crazy.
I really hope he's got people around him who can help him with grief. I've been through it. It's brutal. You know, there's such thing as survivor's guilt, where you're the one who made it and they didn't, and this is gonna stay with them for a long, long time. Why
Yeah.
me? Why did I survive? Why did they? Why is it so unfair that they didn't make it as well? And God only knows, like, the trauma that he will have gone through, because obviously he was right next to them. He would have seen a lot, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen a lot, because on social media there was videos uploaded of the crash, and innocently people click on and you're like, oh my God, you can see the wreckage of the car, and then right behind they show you, dead bodies. AJ will have seen a lot in that moment, and the guy is going to need help. Really, really, he is, because earlier that day he's hanging around playing fucking table tennis with these boys,
And then literally a few hours later, he watched his friends die. It was
he's
fucking
known for years and years and years, and then next thing you know, they're
wow,
gone.
bro.
In a
Just
brutal
like that.
way. And with death like this, sometimes people feel the need to like torture themselves and stuff like that. It can be really fucking hard to get through that. People feel that guilt. How can I carry on? Why should I carry on? That's not fair for them. And I really hope that the friendship that they had with him in life carries him through this moment, because clearly he was having a great impact on their life, right? They were with him all the time.
Probably since the beginning.
All these amazing
Since the
experiences, I've got
fucking
no doubt they
beginning.
all share together. These boys would obviously want him to carry on and live the best life he can in honor of them. And that's the thing I try and remember with grief. Death is a brutal thing, but it's not an exclusive club. We all end up going there one day. And the loved ones that we lose want us to have the best time we possibly can until we meet them there eventually, in my opinion. That's the way to go about it. And that takes a lot of time to process, and for him to get there, it won't be easy. You know, the next few weeks, there's going to be, every time he shuts his eyes, it's going to be hard. That's how bad this is going to be for AJ. I've had near-death experiences, and I've lost people suddenly, and the anxiety that is going to be going through his system, this is life-changing. And I mean, he's a strong guy. He's a very strong guy mentally. But even the strongest would struggle with what he's facing right now. And I'm sure he's going to feel...
I hope he can continue to prosper and grow, you know, despite this situation. It's just shitty, bro. Like, but I think for a while he, you know, I don't know how he's gonna handle it. I don't know Anthony Joshua, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm hoping is that, you know, not saying, oh, he needs to get over. I'm not saying that, but it's just like, I hope he can, you know, get over his grief in a healthy way. And that to me is, you know, hey man, losing your friends like that, bro, it's no joke. Losing anybody close, it's a sad thing, because one day we're all going to experience that, and we just gotta live the best moments of the time that we have, and just, you know what I mean. Man, this shit crazy, bro.
So sorry for
crazy.
their families who I've read bits and pieces, and I don't want to repeat their life stories because I don't know everything, but clearly they were very loved. That's one thing that came across. And reading online, there's been a lot of criticism of, you know, the footage we've seen of AJ, the way he was getting pulled out of the car. And people from Nigeria have taken to X to hammer, you know, their government for the lack of real healthcare in that situation. This guy was tweeting about the car that they took AJ away. He's obviously from Nigeria, and he said, "This is not a security detail. This is a British millionaire being transported to the hospital after a fatal accident. No ambulance. Just look at how DY are transporting a millionaire to the hospital. What a shame." And then he posts a picture of...
I think not just a millionaire, just people in general. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter that he's a millionaire. I don't, you know what I mean? I think that's a little bad. That's a little bit in bad taste to be like, oh, he's a millionaire, he deserves that treatment. No, everybody deserves that treatment. And the government just needs to step the fuck up and start putting tax dollars into their healthcare system.
Bob saying, now this is me, a Nigerian citizen in an ambulance in the UK. Response time 11 minutes. I'm not a millionaire either. You know, Nigerians are really frustrated at what they're seeing, and in a way of like, this has been going on for a long time, it seems, and they're using this moment to vent. And fair play to them, because it seems like they're getting taxed, and they're wondering where the fucking tax money's going. This guy who's actually from the area said Anthony Joshua was lucky to be dragged out by street boys and loaded into a police van because they recognized his face.
If it was a random person, that shit, we don't even know. You know what I mean? Hopefully they would help him out. You know what I mean? Which I think they would, you know. Right. But if people aren't getting this kind of treatment in your country, I don't give a fuck. Go ahead and use this to your fucking advantage to shit on the government for not, you know what I mean, providing for the people of Nigeria and for people who travel to Nigeria as well.
Any other person, including you reading this, would be sitting in the middle of the road with camera phones in your face because bystanders are afraid that if they take you to hospital, they'll be arrested. And we both know that no emergency service is coming.
That's crazy.
Therefore, anyone who tells you not to criticize government over situations like this is gaslighting you and a very dangerous person.
No, you should criticize your government when they make mistakes. Like, that's not even a debate. I don't know why some people are like this. I mean, a nigga who would trip and get mad for you criticizing the government, just them niggas are retarded and they're stupid and they're probably out of touch with reality. No, you should criticize your government, regardless of what country you live in. You know what I mean? You know, of course, some countries you don't get that right to protest and stuff, so I understand that. But like countries like ours and you, like all these countries that allow that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. This shit should not be happening anywhere. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
We deserve a country that works. And ironically, the president of Nigeria actually tweeted about this. And
Okay.
he obviously has met Anthony Joshua before. He, extended his condolences and said
Okay.
that he'd been on the phone to AJ, ensuring that he was getting the best healthcare possible. And one user quoted it saying, "This is proof that they say everything happening in the country, but we just don't matter to them." So yeah, this
Exactly. That's the problem right there. Like, people saying that, oh, he's a millionaire, he needs that top treatment. No, everybody needs that top treatment. You know what I mean? It's that to me is stupid that the government allows the average person in Nigeria who can go through the same shit that Anthony Joshua, and they don't get those healthcare benefits. They don't get that shit. You know what I mean? They work to help keep this country going, and you're not providing them with good health care. That's ridiculous, regardless if you're a millionaire or fucking not.
It's shining a bit of a negative light on the situation in Nigeria. Obviously, I've got no knowledge of how true any of this is, but it's been all over X, so you'd think that there was an element of truth in it, especially when you look at the fucking footage. I mean, that was mental. And I think for everyone who's a
Don't ever call Twitter X again, bro. That's my only advice for this YouTuber.
fan of Anthony Joshua, watching that footage, seeing just how close he came to death, there's only a natural thought of, fuck me, like, what if we lost him there? That was so close to happening. And as sad as this is now, obviously because of how loved AJ is and idolized, it would have been a really, really, really bad time for British sports fans, for fans all over the world of Anthony Joshua. This guy is loved. For me personally,
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough to meet AJ once, and he was such a gentleman. I've criticized him on videos before and said he's fighting not like this and he should be fighting like that. And some fighters obviously can get temperamental about that sort of stuff, and he was class. And he gave me credit for what I've done. And I just thought, you know what?
Nice.
Everything that I thought you were, that's exactly the way you are. They say don't meet your heroes. This guy was amazing. And he's an inspiration in victory and defeat for me when I look at what he went through with Klitschko and how he got knocked down, got back up again and stuck it back on him and won the belt in championship fashion. That's, you take the belt from a champion. He went out there and gave it his all. And even in defeats, like the Andy Ruiz fight where he came back and beat him afterwards, or even the Daniel Dubois fight, it's not all about winning for me. Daniel Dubois had his number that day, but he kept getting back up and back up and back up. And eventually he nearly fucking chinned Daniel Dubois. That's what a champion is. It's not all about the winning. And I've said a few times that AJ did not get enough credit for the metal that he has shown in his career. Nowhere near enough credit. And I think it's been lovely to see him get the flowers from the Jake Paul fight in America and everyone recognizing him as this guy's a superstar, actually. And he's been treated like the way we've been treating him in the UK for a long time. But even then, I do think he deserves more appreciation. And I guess this is a chance for us all.
For knocking out Jake Paul. He got this nigga Jake Paul on a fucking stretcher, nigga. Wired jaw shut, bro. That shit is crazy.
To let AJ know how appreciated he is. Because if he died, I'd have been fucking gutted. I'd have been absolutely devastated. And I'm sure a lot of you would have been. And
I'm still gutted.
But he just needs so much support to get through this, because he is going to be heartbroken over losing his friends. And I'm sure those families, God bless them, they're going through it. Thoughts and prayers are with those families, because they really have lost so much. I've already seen people saying online, oh, does this mean the AJ Fury fights off? And I'm like, come on, what are we talking about here? He might never fight again. And guess what? That's fine. What he's done in his career, he's given us more than enough. His CV, all of the fighters that he's fought in his career, it's a who's who. Only Usyk, you could argue, was fought the level that he's fought. Like, he has got one of the best CVs in this last 10 years in boxing.
Bro, this nigga Anthony Joshua, if y'all saw that Jake Paul fight, bro, he clobbered his shit, bro. It's insane.
Easily. He's put himself...
My favorite Christmas present.
...through a lot for us.
But, you know what I mean, RIP to his friends. And that's a very, tragic thing to go through. Losing the death of someone close to you is not something to joke about. You know what I mean? But, I hope he can come back from this, man. I really hope he can, you know what I mean? But, I believe whatever he does, he's doing it for what's best for him. And, you know what I mean? I hope he continues to prosper in his life. You know what I mean? And, yeah, man, it's good to see you know, black people succeed. It's good to see black people succeed, bro. It really is. And it, you know what I mean? It's good to see anybody succeed. But, yeah, man, it's a lot, bro. I mean, I don't know, like, that's one thing I don't know is how did they crash in the first place? That's the one thing I'm curious about. Maybe we just don't know, and we'll never know. Man, at the end of the day, man, who cares what happened? Well, who cares how it happened? All that matters is that it happened, and let's send our prayers and condolences to him and his family, the families of those who's passed, and man, yeah, man. I hope you have a good breakfast, a good dinner, and good night, man. What do you feel about this situation? Down in the comments down below. You know what I mean? Y'all have a good night, man. You know what I mean? Keep your loved ones close. Love y'all, man. Peace.